police helicopter cover-ups for October 21st, and this is around 10:30 on October 21st, so they only have a few postings so far. But there was a huge event today, and so there have been 3 recent events, 2 specific ones I'm going to talk about that haven't been posted on the police blogger. One, October 16th, when he tried to lead me out with the spotlight, and he did power circles 3 houses down from me for like 40 minutes and then flew over my house. And so they didn't even post anything online about that. They've dismissed it, and then now they're flying Cessnas around with red flashing lights. And the night after that, they tried to fly a Cessna around with a red flashing light and then have the helicopter hover and fly around behind the 2-story house across the street and down in the gully to throw sound, so that, oh, well, there's sound for your video. There's also a Cessna doing circles with his little red flashing light. And then the other event yesterday, where they flew, it was midday around 4:15 until 5 o'clock, where the helicopter crossed over my roof and then proceeded to do power circles and all kinds of insane things at 50 feet of altitude at the end of my street at Solero de Seo, and then all up and down Caladad from Falda to Ganador to Hogar using the intercom. So there are hundreds of witnesses that heard him speaking, and it's a real call because it's committed, but it's not posted on there. So then today they had a huge event. They sent out the big large white blue. That's the one how I label it in my videos. And that copter they've been using that because they first painted a military helicopter with a blue bottom, white top, and then they showed it once out over El Dorado Park, and then the second time I saw it at 7:45 a.m. the next day out over 24171 across the street from me. And they painted it like that because they were going to eventually fly 2 of them over my house with the dark bottoms and say that, oh, that's what they were. They weren't Blackhawks, they were police copters. And so since then, too, they've covered up for that all kinds of ways by painting small copters blue and white two-tone and stuff like that. So this large copter came down my street from the Deseo end, and then he was coming basically down Castilla Street, which is the street below mine, towards Jeronimo, and he flew up to 24191, which is one of the landmark houses across the street, and then he turned in order to cover up for the military copter that I have a video of turning to get away from my camera, because that was one of the only points that can be proven somehow that the military helicopters are here for me. So their excuse is that it's a Osprey training ground in the park and Blackhawks just fly over my roof all the time. But that's not the case at all. So I guess that one video is one of the, I don't even know how to explain it, strongholds of proof somehow, not the whole story in general. So anyways, he did that turn, and then he went out and he did power circles then beyond the big tree next to 24191 and all the way down Solero Castilla block out into El Dorado Park doing power circles. And it's a loud helicopter. And then he kept doing power circles, and I got drawn out down to the end of the street a little bit, and I was recording him. And then there's one point when he stopped and he just looked at me and hovered, and then he just descended like stupid, like come get me. And throughout that entire period, they would project they had cruisers. They let me know they had cruisers because they'd be like boo 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 boo, and they would just turn them on for a second just to like pretend like there was a scene, like they were projecting a scene, so it was easily readable. And then I was out in the street and I heard the actual police helicopter coming from Coronel behind me, and it was because I was out at the end of the street, so I covered the camera lens and I ran back and recorded the sound of him approaching. And then he stopped and he went out down El Dorado Park and then came out next to the large helicopter. So they tried to lead me out. It was insane. I saw many witnesses walking around watching me record it, 6 people, and they tried to lead me out, and they fully committed to it, to lead me out into the park. And so there were cruisers. There must have been a lot of people that saw it from down in the park too. He was incredibly low. It was pretty scary. So that was a big fake event, and that was to lead me out so that they could spotlight me and find the suspicious person and arrest me from my driveway. And so there should be some news about that, some significant news that's fake, but there has to be something, because that would be the 3rd significant event that's just ignored.